Imagine you meet someone new. They ask the famous question, "So, what do you do for a living?"
If you don't have a job right now, or if you hate your current job and want to leave, this question feels terrible. You get nervous. What do you say?
Welcome back to the English Conversation Podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Daniel. Today is about important professional English for your career. We aren't just teaching basic words. We will teach you the polite, confident phrases you need for interviews and networking.
We want to help you get hired. But first, a very quick request. We see that many of you are watching our videos, and we are so grateful.
But honestly, we need more interactions to help the channel grow. Please take just 1 second right now to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps us a lot.
Thank you so much. Now, let's begin. How do you talk about your job situation professionally without using the scary word, unemployed? So, Daniel, the biggest mistake students make here is thinking there is only one way to say it. They just say, "I need a job."
Right, but in professional English, it's not that simple. It depends on your situation. Are you desperate for a job right now, or are you just curious about what is out there?
Exactly. The tone is very different. Let's look at the first situation. We call this the passive search.
Imagine you have a job right now. It's okay. You aren't miserable, but maybe you want a higher salary or a better location. You want to look for a new job secretly. You don't want your boss to know.
In this situation, you don't want to sound desperate. The tone should be very relaxed and confident. We have a fantastic idiom for this situation.
We say, "I'm just testing the waters."
Testing the waters. That is such a good visual. Imagine you are at a swimming pool or the beach. Before you jump in completely, you put your toe in the water to see if it is cold.
Exactly. You aren't committing to swimming, you're just checking the temperature. So if someone asks if you are looking for a job, you say, "Oh, I like my current role, but I'm just testing the waters to see what else is out there."
Another very common, very professional phrase for this passive situation is, "I'm keeping my eyes open for new opportunities."
This means if a perfect job appears right in front of me, I might take it, but I am not stressing about it. I'm just keeping my eyes open.
Okay, that is the relaxed passive search. But Daniel, what about the opposite situation?
The active search. This is when you don't have a job right now, or you absolutely hate your current job and need to leave immediately.
In this situation, you cannot sound relaxed. You need to sound energetic and readily available.
A very strong professional phrase here is, "I'm actively pursuing new roles."
Pursuing, P-U-R-S-U-I-N-G. That is a great verb. It means to chase or to follow with energy. It sounds much more dynamic than just saying, "I'm looking."
Or if you were unemployed for a little while, maybe you were traveling or taking care of family, and you started looking again today, you say, "I am back on the market." Like a product on a shelf, you are available to be bought or hired again.
Now, Daniel, a very quick grammar note here for our intermediate learners. It's subtle but important.
Yes, be careful with your tenses here.
It is usually better to use the present continuous. I am actively looking for a job right now. It sounds fresh, it sounds current.
But be careful with the present perfect continuous. If you say, "I have been looking for a job for 6 months," sometimes it can sound a little negative to an employer. It emphasizes how long it is taking, and it might make you sound tired. Keep it simple and fresh. I am looking right now.
Okay, last point for this section. The scary word.
Unemployed.
Yeah. Try not to use this exact word at a professional networking event. It sounds a bit too direct and maybe a little sad.
Instead, we use softer phrases. We call these euphemisms. The best, most common one is, I'm currently between jobs right now.
It sounds temporary. I'm between jobs. It implies you had one before and you will have one soon.
Or, if you took time off on purpose to travel or rest, make it sound intentional. Say, I'm taking a short career break right now before my next move.
Career break sounds much better than unemployed.
Okay, so you know how to define your status, but what do you actually say when you meet someone on LinkedIn or at a conference? How do you introduce yourself professionally?
We are going to teach you the perfect three-part formula for that in the next section. Okay, so we know how to define our status if we are testing the waters or actively pursuing roles. Now, let's put it into real life.
Imagine the situation. You are at a professional industry conference, or maybe more realistically these days, you are sending a message on LinkedIn to someone you admire in your field.
You need to introduce yourself, but if you are currently between jobs, this is tricky. You can't just rely on a simple title like, "Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm an accountant at Google."
Exactly. If you don't have a current title, you need a new structure for your introduction. In English business culture, we often call this an elevator pitch.
The idea is that it should be short and clear enough to tell someone during a 30-second elevator ride.
It sounds scary, but don't worry. We have a very simple three-part formula for introducing yourself when you are looking for work.
Daniel, break it down for us. What is part one?
Part 1 is your recent past. Focus on what you just finished doing. Don't focus on the fact that you are unemployed right now. Focus on your expertise.
For example, I recently wrapped up 5 years in project management in the tech sector.
Wrapped up is a nice casual phrasal verb that means finished.
Okay, part two of the formula. Your goal. What do you want next? Be specific so the other person knows how to help you.
Now I am looking to bring those skills to a smaller startup environment.
And part three, your value. Why are you good at what you do?
I specialize in helping small teams organize chaotic budgets.
That is brilliant. So let's put it all together in a natural way.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. I recently wrapped up 5 years in project management in big tech. Now I am looking to bring those skills to a smaller startup environment because I specialize in helping small teams organize chaotic budgets.
It's perfect. It is positive, professional, and it tells them exactly who you are without needing a current job title.
Now, Sarah, that example highlights something else very important. A lot of people use a job search to change direction completely.
Yes. Maybe you want to change industries, like moving from teaching to business. Or maybe you want to change roles, like moving from sales to marketing.
In English, we have an incredibly useful professional business verb for this exact situation.
It is to pivot. P-I-V-O-T.
Think about basketball. When a player stops, keeps one foot on the floor, and turns around to face a new direction, that is a pivot.
We use it in business to sound strategic. If you just say, "I used to be a teacher, but now I want to be a programmer," it sounds a bit random.
But if you use pivot, it sounds like a plan. You connect your past to your future.
For example, after 10 years in education, I am looking to pivot into educational technology development. See, you are using your past experience in a new direction.
It sounds much more impressive. Okay, last point for networking. You have introduced yourself perfectly. Now you want this person to help you find a job.
This is the awkward part. Daniel, a lot of non-native speakers, and native speakers too, are too direct here. They say, "Do you know of any jobs for me?"
Yeah, don't do that. It's too much pressure on the new person. It makes them uncomfortable.
We need what we call a soft ask. You want to open the door for help without forcing them to walk through it.
A great phrase for this is, If you happen to hear of any openings.
So you finish your introduction and you add, I'm focusing on marketing roles right now. If you happen to hear of any openings in that space, I'd really appreciate a heads up.
A heads up is just a casual warning or notification. It sounds very relaxed. You aren't asking for a job offer, you are just asking for a heads up.
Exactly. It's polite, professional networking.
Okay, so your networking worked, you got an interview. But now you are sitting across the table from the manager, and they ask you the scariest question of all. Why did you leave your last job?
If you answer this question wrong, the interview is over immediately. We will show you how to answer it perfectly.
Okay, you are in the interview chair. Your palms are sweating a little bit. The conversation is going well.
And then the interviewer looks at your resume, looks back at you, and asks the most dangerous question of the entire process.
Why did you leave your last job? Or if you are still employed, why are you looking to leave your current job?
Daniel, I cannot stress this enough to our listeners. This is the moment where you either win the job or lose it.
Absolutely. You could have perfect qualifications, but if you answer this question with negativity, the interview is over. They won't hire you.
So, before we teach you what to say, we must establish the golden rule of interviewing in English, and probably in any language.
The golden rule is never, ever criticize your previous employer, your previous boss, or your colleagues, ever.
Even if your boss was a monster, even if the company was terrible, you must remain positive.
Why? Because if you sit there complaining about your old boss, the interviewer isn't thinking, poor you.
No, they are thinking, wow, this person is really negative. Are they difficult to manage? If I hired them, will they complain about me when they leave in 2 years?
Exactly. It makes you look unprofessional, not your old boss.
Okay, so we know what not to say, but you still have to answer the question honestly. How do we do that?
We use what I call the transformation technique. We take your real negative reason and we translate it into professional corporate speak that focuses on the future, not the past.
Let's role play some common scenarios. Scenario number 1, the bad boss.
Okay, the truth is, my manager hated me and micromanaged everything I did. I couldn't breathe.
If you say that in an interview, you fail. How do we transform it?
Instead of focusing on what you hated about the old boss, focus on what you are seeking in a new boss.
So you say, I've learned a lot in my current role, but now I am really looking for a position with more autonomy, where I can take full ownership of my projects.
Autonomy. That means independence. You are saying, I want independence, which is a positive way of saying, my old boss didn't give me any independence.
It's brilliant. It sounds proactive and mature. Okay, scenario number 2, boredom.
The truth is, I've been doing the exact same boring tasks for 3 years. There is no promotion path, and I'm falling asleep at my desk.
Again, don't say boring. It sounds lazy. How do we transform this?
We focus on growth. There's a great idiom for this. You feel you have gone as high as you can go. You have hit a ceiling.
Like the roof of a room. You can't go any higher.
Right. So you say, I've really enjoyed my time there, but I feel I've hit a ceiling in terms of my development. I'm ready for a new challenge where I can stretch my skills further.
Perfect. You don't sound bored. You sound ambitious.
Okay, Sarah, now the hardest one. Scenario number 3, getting fired.
Ooh, this is tough. The truth is, they fired me.
First of all, if you were part of a big group layoff where many people lost their jobs because the company lost money, that's easy. Be honest.
Just say, unfortunately, my role was impacted by company restructuring. Restructuring is the polite business word for layoffs.
But what if it was just you? Maybe you just didn't get along with the team, or you made mistakes.
You need the softest euphemism possible here. Do not use the word fired.
Try something like this. Ideally, the role wasn't quite the right cultural fit for me long term, so we mutually agreed to part ways.
To part ways, like two roads separating, it sounds neutral, like a joint decision.
It's a very professional way to handle a difficult past. Before we move on, let's quickly give you two very useful neutral phrasal verbs for leaving a job.
The first is simply to move on. After 5 great years, I decided it was time to move on to a new adventure.
And if you leave a high-level position voluntarily, you can say you decided to step down. I decided to step down from my role as director to focus on other projects.
Okay, you navigated the toughest question, you survived the interview without being negative. Now you go home and wait by the phone.
In the final part, we will talk about the results, how to handle the good news, and how to handle the rejection professionally. Okay, the interview is over. You sent a polite thank you email. Now the hardest part, waiting for the phone to ring.
Let's hope for the best news first. They call you and say, "You're hired." How do you tell your friends in English?
The best, most celebratory informal phrase is, "I landed the job."
Like catching a big fish or safely landing a plane, you landed the job. Formally, you can just say, "I received an offer."
But the reality of job hunting is that sometimes you don't get the job. It happens to everyone. How do you say that professionally without feeling sad?
Don't say, "They rejected me." It feels too personal. Use the classic business euphemism, "They decided to go in another direction."
Or simply, it wasn't the right cultural fit. Move on and keep looking.
Before we go, let's do a lightning-fast review of the most crucial concept from today, defining your status.
Remember, tone is everything. If you are employed but curious, you are casual. You are just testing the waters or keeping your eyes open.
But if you are unemployed and need a job now, you are energetic. You are actively pursuing new roles, and you are back on the market.
Okay, now it's your turn to talk to us. We really want to see the comments section explode today.
Yes, our question of the day is about those high-pressure moments. What is the absolute worst, funniest, or weirdest interview question you have ever been asked? And how did you handle it?
Did they ask you how many ping pong balls fit in a school bus? Did they ask what kind of vegetable you want to be? We want to hear your horror stories down below.
And finally, guys, just a quick reminder of what we asked at the very beginning of the video.
We love creating these deep dive guides for your professional English, but we really need that interaction to sustain the channel.
If you feel more confident about your next interview after watching this, please take 1 second to hit that like button right now and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
Good luck with your search. Go out there and land that new job.
Thanks for listening to the English Conversation Podcast. See you next time. Bye.